Hello, this is MrChris. Today, I will share with you my perspective on why I believe Ulty is the ultimate high-yield fund for generating my retirement income. But first, a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and the content of my videos are my personal opinion only. The videos in this channel are for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you have been watching my videos, you know that I trade the no-loss method of the whel strategy, and within the last 9 months, I was able to generate $150,000 plus of earned premium by using my $300,000 of savings to sell cash covered put and covered calls using the whel strategy. What I have not mentioned in my previous videos is how I started my method of selecting the stocks to trade using the whel strategy. You see, Ulty was my inspiration and the main source of ideas I used to develop my criteria for selecting the stocks to trade. In fact, some of the first stocks I traded options on were in Ulty's holdings. When I started trading the whel strategy, I reviewed the holdings of Ulty, and with information from stackanalysis.com, I selected the first few underlying stocks I used to sell cash covered puts and start my journey in earning my retirement income by trading the no-loss method of the whel strategy. So why do I believe Ulty is the ultimate high-yield dividend fund for generating my retirement income? There are 5 reasons for my perspective. The first one is diversification. Ulty generates income by trading covered call options of several underlying stocks. Currently, Ulty trades option on 24 underlying stocks. Through diversification, Ulty mitigates the risk inherent to trading options. The second reason is the focus on companies that has high growth potential. These companies tend to have high implied volatility, which is important in generating higher option premiums. Though there is higher risk in trading options using underlying stocks with high volatility, the amount of premium that can be generated is higher. Ulty mitigates this risk by using an option strategy called protective collar. The third reason is that Ulty actually owns the stock. By owning the stocks, Ulty can still benefit in the stock's upside potential, although it is limited by how the covered call strike prices are selected. Now, the fourth reason as to why I think Ulty is the ultimate high-yield dividend fund is its weekly distribution. One of my criteria in selecting the stock-to-trade option using the whel strategy is that the available option contracts for the underlying stock needs to have a weekly expiration date. Ulty's weekly distribution rate means that Ulty is trading options with weekly expiration dates. Trading options with weekly expiration dates allows you to have a higher frequency rate of trading to generate more income. It also allows you to make adjustments to your positions if the trade is not going your way. When Ulty's distribution schedule changed from monthly to weekly, it further cemented my belief that Ulty is where I need to focus on in my plan in generating my retirement income. And the last reason is that Ulty uses an option strategy called protective collar. Ulty's strategy is to sell covered call option at a higher strike price while simultaneously buying a put option at a lower strike price. By doing this, Ulty generates premium income from selling the covered call while buying the put option provides downside protection. By using a protective collar option strategy, I expect the net asset value erosion to slow down. If the NAV erosion slows down, then ultimately Ulty's price will be more stable. I originally purchased Ulty with the intention of keeping all dividends I received in a cash account. But with the income I am generating using the whel strategy, I decided to reinvest all Ulty dividends and purchase more Ulty shares. Currently, I have an auto drip for Ulty where all Ulty dividends are used to purchase additional shares of Ulty. In about 9 months of holding Yieldmax Funds and with reinvesting all dividends back to the associated Yieldmax Funds, I noticed some pattern. With the market down this few weeks, my total return have been close to zero. A little bit above zero. My total return actually dropped from about $100,000 to $5,000. That was a bummer. Yet the total amount of dividend I was receiving were getting higher due to the increase in the number of shares in several funds I have in my portfolio. So I was thinking, what would be my weekly dividend if I have 100,000 shares of Ulty, 200,000 shares, 300,000 shares? If I assume that Ulty generates a weekly dividend of 10 cents per share, then with 100,000 shares, my Ulty weekly dividend will be $10,000. Exciting, right? But can I achieve this? So I created a spreadsheet of the projected growth in the number of Ulty shares I own. I also did it for Yieldmax, but my focus is with Ulty. I actually showed you the first draft of the spreadsheet in my recent video. Anyway, here's the spreadsheet again. What I did on this spreadsheet is try to figure out how fast can I grow the number of Ulty share I own if I reinvest all of Ulty's dividends. So in this spreadsheet, I started with 17,227 shares, and it tells me that I could have 32,400 shares after 1 year and earning a weekly dividend of 3,200. After 2 years, I could possibly have 66,000 shares of earning 6,600 weekly dividend. And on the third year, the number of shares increases to 118,000 shares earning a weekly dividend of 11,800. At this point in time, I may stop reinvesting and just take the dividend into my cash account. Now this spreadsheet tells me it is possible for me to get into 100,000 shares of Ulty in less than 3 years, assuming that the average weekly dividend is 10 cents per share and that the average price of Ulty is at $8 per share. Now the main factor that will prevent me from reaching this goal of 100,000 shares of Ulty in 3 years is an increase in net asset value erosion resulting in a reverse split. Hopefully that does not happen, and right now I am looking in the future that within the next 3 years I will have 100,000 shares of Ulty. So that is my goal, 100,000 shares of Ulty within 3 years. And that's it. If you like this video or any of the videos in my channel, please hit the like button and subscribe and join me in my journey in generating my retirement income through trading options and investing in high yield funds like Yieldmax. If you have any comment or question about the no loss method of the wheel strategy or my perspective about Yieldmax, please write a comment and I will answer them the best I can. This is Mr. Chris. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video.